have been screaming from the rooftops that this could be the meme coin super cycle, and I still mean it. So many tokens we have talked about on this channel, 3, 5, 10x since the time I'm mentioning them. We're going to look at some of that in this video. However, I still think that there is so much opportunity left in the market. People are literally making life-changing money every single day. I hope that in this video we can, for one, celebrate what we previously just saw in the last few weeks with Bitcoin breaking all-time high after all-time high in the last 24 hours, memes just going to 3 to 5x on the majors, some more microcap memes, and honestly how you can be ready if this is the one final super cycle that a lot of us have been waiting on. Now, I've said a lot of things on this channel that made a lot of you laugh, made a lot of you unsubscribe, made a lot of you unfollow, and honestly, I'm a pretty humble person, but I have been right, and I hope that I'm right about this. We're gonna take a look at it in this video. One of my favorite things I've seen recently was that Smart Money was dumping their BTC literally 2 days ago before Bitcoin just ripped out of the current trend that it was on. So this was actually referring to the ETF outflows, okay? So in the last, on November 1st, 4th, and 5th, obviously it didn't do some days in between because of the weekend, we saw over $500 million, actually closer to 600 million, so well over $500 million in ETF outflows. This is a bad thing. This means that Smart Money is selling their BTC. This got absolutely obliterated and eaten by the market. Bitcoin is now up 8% in the last 24 hours, which is insane. So it just ate up all of that selling pressure that we just saw right there and skyrocketed through that. And we see this trending down to the rest of the tokens. And what we usually see is the majors run, specifically Bitcoin, the father coin. We see usually alts off of that and then memes. However, even with that being said, these aren't insane the last 24 hours on some of these higher caps. They're kind of neutral because they haven't quite got to that cycle like I just said. Basically, people make money on Bitcoin, they make money on alts, that trickles down to memes and higher risk. There have been a lot popping off recently, but if you look even the last 24 hours and 7 days, memes have still been crushing it. Even the major memes, the OG memes like Doge, currently at 15%. Obviously, Elon had a lot to do in the election. He put millions of dollars towards Trump and put his name out of the line, so people are kind of betting on Elon Doge right there. A lot of these other ones have just been killing it. I mentioned Popcat on this channel so many times. It's at 1.5 billion. When I was talking about it on this channel, it's at 300 million. And honestly, that seems like a high market cap compared to a lot of tokens we talked about. But this is, you know, from 300,000 to 1.5 billion. That's a pretty good gain. And I put a lot of capital in that. Same thing with MOG. Screaming from the rooftops at 300 mil again. That was my average price. The average, I talked about it on this channel, currently at 830 million. You can go back and watch any of those videos. I can leave it at the end. So many of these we talked about, but there's honestly constant runners, and I hope that you're ready. I talk about this a lot on this channel. You absolutely have to have a good platform to be able to snipe these and strategies in order to do that. I personally use BullX. I am actually an ambassador for BullX, but I used BullX well before I was an ambassador. Actually was like, hey, I use your platform all the time. I would love to be an ambassador for it. It has this pump vision page, which is actually going to change very soon. I'm going to have some updates on that in my Telegram and probably some special privileges there, which my Telegram is something I'm going to get into in a little bit as well. But being able to navigate these low market cap tokens literally helps you find the next goat, find the next loose, find the next whatever the peanut, whatever the next thing is. You have to have this. Photon's another really good one that a lot of people use. I haven't personally used Photon that much. And then there's of course all kinds of different bots, but honestly, BullX has been my favorite. You can use my link down below to save on fees. And like I said, I have something that I'm going to announce pretty soon on BullX that's going to give even bigger advantages that I'm really excited about. For my settings, to give you kind of extra, you know, alpha on this, honestly, compared to a lot of people I see, I probably have the minimal amount of settings on here as far as buying goes. My favorite one is I do a minimum 8,000 market cap. You can depend on your risk tolerance, set this however you want. I do 8,000 because that kind of shows that there's some volume there. And once I see that there's some volume there, then that kind of gives me more of an opportunity, because a lot of these tokens, they'll just launch, they'll stay at 5K market cap and they'll never move. And that's why a lot of these stats are corrupt. Like a lot of people say, oh, there's only this much % of pump funds that make it all the way to graduation. Well, that's true. Most of them never even get off the ground to begin with. So there's just like thousands and thousands every day of trash that doesn't move. So if you actually go by the actual volume, I would be interested to see that statistic of those that get, let's say, over like a 20K market cap and then migrate great. It's going to be significantly greater than the one we just talked about. Honestly, that's the only filter I use. I think it wouldn't hurt to use like a filter for the dev holding a certain percent of supply. I've just burnt myself doing that because I've missed runners because there's base devs that held a large percent of supply and didn't sell. So I took that off personally, but a lot of people do like to use that. If you're trading a higher volume, then setting volume would be good. When I am trading some like higher market cap tokens in as far as low market cap memes go, I do just straight up click on them. And I like to see the volume, of course. These are my presets. I like to see the volume down at the bottom right. So 34K on a migrated token to me is pretty low. If I see this like 100 to 300K and I see like a couple $100,000 in volume, I'll start playing with that because to me that's pretty good. And of course, like if it's like a million in volume and the token's at like 400 or 500K, then I'll start playing in that. But that's another good thing to look for and more settings you can do over here. All right, let's check back on our token that we looked at the beginning of the video, this whatever Solagachi. Remember when I said I had too many snipers, is gonna like one clip? Well, here's the one clip you can see in real time. Went straight up and then it does this little like, you know, bumpy thing and then it goes straight down. That's some pretty large alpha I can give you on that. Next thing you're gonna want to do is to find a group of people that are absolutely dedicated to the trenches. This is not an alpha group. This is just a free group that I recommend. I'm in there a lot and this is NRN. They have a Memecoins channel, general chat, and they're constantly cooking up, and their hit rate is really good in there because it is just a group of friends. It's not like constant scans, constant callers. Really recommend NRN. I spend a lot of time in there, and that's the free option. The next options will definitely be a step up from the free option, which would be Potion. Potion, I literally did a 7-day challenge. Go check that out if you haven't watched it. And I spent 7 days in Potion, and this was when the market wasn't even as quite as hot as it is right now. I had a really good experience in Potion, and I actually stopped being a Potion member for about a month or so after that video. And I actually, as of today, went back and resubscribed to Potion. They went up on the prices since the last time I joined. It was like 25 when I talked about it. Now it's like 50. I'm gonna give it 1 week. I'm gonna see if I can make 50 bucks, which isn't a lot in this space, but obviously there's a lot of risk there. If I can make 50 bucks in a week, I'll buy another one, so on and so on. If I hit big and I get like 100, 200, 300, I'll buy a couple months. I honestly, this is part of me being dialed in, is I want to take advantage of this market as much as possible. Potion has a really good Twitter tracker, really good wallet tracker, and I'm excited to be in that. I'm not going to be active in there chatting wise. I'm going to be just kind of following that CT tracker, following the wallet tracker, and looking for some alpha calls mainly. Canto Labs is another great one. Ash Robin is a content creator. It has a lot of vibes as Potion. It has a really good, I would say the biggest differentiation between the two is I probably like Canto's Memecoin talk. It's called something else. Better because it's a little less populated. So a lot of people in there are like, I see like more like value there. Whereas the other one, Potion, might be more scans. I do think that the Twitter tracker on Potion is superior to the one in Canto, but Canto also has a Twitter tracker. Ash is a really good trader. I mean, so is Orangey, but Ash is a different style of trader, and I really respect Ash's trading style, and I'm able to get a lot of that by being in there. Finally, I recommend my Telegram group. This is not an alpha group. This is not an alpha caller. I usually write theses on what's going on. I actually wrote up a pretty strong one just a few days ago on previous YouTube comments. I did find like Mudang at like 10 mil and it was in there, and it ran to 200-300 mil. Lucy at 5 or 6 mil. Some other like huge runners, but again, it's not a call group. I want to emphasize that. It's just I find things I talked about how I really believe this is the Memecoin Supercycle today, and I do constantly redirect. You know, there's a lot of people that do scan in there, but not an alpha group. But I do recommend you hop in to see some pretty time sensitive information, because obviously I don't have time to record a video and get it out as soon as I hear about something, but I do have time to do a quick write-up or a quick screenshot in my Telegram, so jump in there. Last but not least, I love to do this. It's been about 5 days since my last video. At the end of every video, I leave a keyword just to see who's really dialed, and I love to see you guys make it to the end. That means a lot to me. If you did make it to the end, also just leave this video a like. It would mean a whole lot. So first and foremost, we got Martin here. Friends was the code at the last one. We talked about you don't need alpha groups, and now we're talking talking about alpha groups, but you'd understand the context if you watch that video. Last but not least, we got Shiba shout out. Okay, cool. We have a couple more friends in here that I want to shout out. 9M933 says friends. I love that so many of you made it to the video. RJJ, we got Shoba, we got Shorty, we got Kohi, we got 2 minutes to crypto. Thank you all so much. I actually missed a lot of these because there were so many days afterwards, and I just like sometimes miss the notifications. So appreciate you guys so much for making it to that video. If you made it to the end of this one, it's pretty obvious. Supercycle.